by your Carolina Ford dealers. By Gatorade, win from within. And by Bojangles, it's bow time.
It is the 71st all-time meeting between Clemson and Florida State as we get a look at the Food Lion starting lineups. For the Seminoles, watch number 14, Terrence Mann. Last 6 games, shooting a ridiculous 62%, and he has started every game this season for head coach Leonard Hamilton. Avery Holmes has also started every game, the senior from Salem, Oregon, who is one of the top 3-point threats in the ACC. Wayne Bacon, we told you about his performance when these two teams played earlier this season. It was February 5th and a win for Florida State, 109-61. In that game, Florida State made 17 3-point baskets. Clemson will start with the basketball.
Florida State starts out in a solid man-to-man. So big inside, so active. They have the depth to wear you down. Clemson must execute in the half court.
Tigers are 14-13 on the season. They are 4-11 in conference play. Shot clock is down to 8. Mitchell trying to shake his defender, Rattan Mays. Can't do it. Mann puts it up top, and the jam for Florida State as Jonathan Isaac rocks the stanchion.
You're playing on the road. That's the start you want to have for Florida State. The defensive stand from Xavier Rattan Mays, the best on-ball defender in the ACC. A guy that's going to sit right at the top for Defensive Player of the Year.
Tigers coming off a tough loss on Tuesday at Virginia Tech. That was Blossom game in the paint, the fouls against the Noles.
Well, it starts with the steal and takeaway, and in transition, Mann pushes the big-time freshman, throws it up high, and sends it in. First 2 points of the game, highlight style.
How about that view from right behind the rim and the backboard? As Terrence Mann put it up for Jonathan Isaac. Inside and broken up and taken back by the Noles. This is Mann again, trying to angle to the rim with Rattan Mays.
Good pass.
Isaac got fouled in the act of shooting. First foul on Elijah Thomas puts Jonathan Isaac, the freshman, at the free throw line. Isaac 80% from the stripe this year in his first season in a Florida State uniform. Time for our Carolina Ford keys to the game with Jason Capel.
Well, for Florida State, we've seen it already. They have to push tempo. So much depth, so big up front. Make this a 94-foot game, already a highlight reel type dunk. And for Clemson, control the backboard. You're the smaller team. You have a thin front line. You must do the job controlling both sides of the backboard to compete in this game.
Clemson had that last possession in the game at Virginia Tech, but was unable to move it up the floor with about 4 seconds to go. 3-point attempt rattles home for Blossom game.
When a team is going to pressure you, you have to attack the pressure. Avery Holmes does the job, draws that second defender. Jerron Blossom game pops back for the throwback, knocks down a timely 3-point shot.
Just his 22nd made 3 of the season. Out of bounds and back to the Tigers.
The Clemson Tigers in the half court. You have to help Shelton Mitchell being pressured on the baseline drive. Jonathan Isaac has to help over to cut off Avery Holmes. The throwback Blossom game, hands and feet ready. When he has time and space, he's a good shooter. His percentage has dropped this year, about 45 last season. But again, when he has time, he's shown he can knock him down.
He is the leading scorer for the Tigers this season. Averages over 17 points per game, but a miscommunication gives it back to the Noles, and quickly for Brad Brownell, the 3rd turnover for the Tigers.
And he's telling Gabe DeVoe, slow down. You're being pressured all over the floor. You have to be decisive where you're going to attack and read that second defender and make the correct and accurate pass.
Seminoles are 22-6 on the season. Bacon off the mark. Isaac thought he had it. Goes out of bounds, and it's off of the Clemson Tigers, and Florida State maintains possession.
Well, I thought Jonathan Isaac got away with one there. A little push in the back created that angle for him to almost get that offensive rebound.
Noles beat Boston College on Monday, 104-72. Up and under for Isaac.
Just a big-time player. That's a freshman, ladies and gentlemen. 6'10", takes it off the bounce. The little nifty maneuver to finish. One of the best young players, not only in the ACC, but of all of college basketball. The shot fake, the little jab step, and he takes it down Broadway, sees the help defender come over. Nice maneuver and a quality finish inside. And this team is so big and so deep. You take out a talent like Jonathan Isaac, and then you bring in Bill Colfer, a veteran player who continues that athleticism on the front line.
Isaac to the bench. He has scored all 6 points so far for the Noles, and another turnover. That's the fourth now for the Tigers. All 6 of the points for the Noles have come off of turnovers. Rutan Mays travels through the paint. Bacon. Man. 3 ball out of the corner.
Unselfish basketball, attacking the gaps, making the correct play. Terrence Mann, not known as a three-point shooter, only 4 makes on the season, but there steps up, knocks down that wide-open jumper.
Terrence Mann, the sophomore from Lowell, Massachusetts. As Jason said, only 4 3-point makes coming into this afternoon. DeVoe wants one of his own. Jete and Ojo got tangled up, and we're going to keep it at this end of the floor. The foul is going to be against Ojo. Second one on Ojo. Marcus Reed, one of the fresh faces into the game for the Tigers, as Shelton Mitchell will take a seat. Also Trent Forrest with 3. Jete drops it off. Blossom game on a rim bender for the Tigers.
When your point guards are being pressured, sometimes you got to give it to the big fella. A 5 drive into the hoop. Sidi Jete with a nice drop off. Ron Blossom game, one of the most athletic players in all of ACC for a big finish.
So now Blossom game has all 5 points for the Tigers so far in the first half. Shot clock is inside of 10 for Rutan Mays. Flip back out. 3-point attempt never hit the rim from Angela Rodas. So it is a shot clock violation against the Noles.
Well, a good defensive stand there from Clemson. Move their feet, force tough shots. The contest at the end. But Florida State, 4-point lead. Out and running early. Jonathan Isaac, too much sauce.
Of the Florida State Seminoles.
Well, such a dominant performance the first time out against Clemson, but can this team win on the road? They're almost unbeatable in Tallahassee, but to win in this league and to win moving forward, you talk about postseason play, you have to put it together on the road, and having great starts leads to that. And Florida State, so much ball pressure, so athletic at every position. We're seeing the depth now have the ability to wear you down. It's a 40-minute game, and the Seminoles must sustain this activity throughout.
Clemson comes out of the timeout with a bucket. Avery Holmes able to hit for the Tigers.
Trent Forrest hit the deck, and Avery Holmes made him pay. Known as a 3-point shooter there, he gets to a spot, rises up, able to knock it down. Then defensively, right back at him. Deflection, turnover, and live ball turnovers lead to transition opportunities. Jerron Blossom game, 7 quick points here in the first half.
All tied up at 9. Tigers on a 6-0 run. Shot comes out of the corner. And it's a 3-ball for Phil Kofer.
Phil Kofer, only 5 makes on the season. So we have 2 guys now from Florida State who have made 4 and 5 coming into this ball game who have already knocked down shots. And you talk about Dwayne Bacon, how good he is, and the freshman Jonathan Isaac. The others are the reason they get to the winner's circle more times than not, active defensively.
Florida State in transition. It was Trent Forrest on the drive, and he was fouled. That'll go against Holmes, his first.
Avery Holmes, nifty ball handling. The body dropper gets him on his hip. Rises up, knocks down that jump shot. He's being pressured 94 feet. The guards of Clemson have to show great poise, protect that basketball, and ensure they get into a solid offense each possession.
Forrest at the line, the freshman from Chipley, Florida. 66% shooter from the free throw line. C.J. Walker has come in. Rattan Mays will get a breather on that Florida State bench. Elijah Thomas is going to check in. Sidi Jite will step aside for a moment for the Tigers. Forrest has seen a lot of action this season. Played in every single game this year as a freshman for Leonard Hamilton. You talked about how Florida State was so strong at home. 17-0 this year at Tucker Center.
Unbeatable. And most games aren't close. But you have to travel. You have to take your game on the road and continue to play at a high level. Seminoles off to a nice start.
This is Mitchell with the shot clock at 7. Ran into a roadblock. Shot clock down to 2. Deflected out of bounds, and to the Seminoles, as Marquise Reed couldn't finish off the drive.
Brad Barnell wants his team to move that basketball. Going to be very difficult for the guards of Clemson to get in the paint and finish over such a towering front line. You draw that second defender, you have to make the correct play and knock down outside shots.
This is Walker. Golorotas hit the floor. Reed was the closest defender, and he picks up the foul. That's the first of Marquise Reed.
That's his first. Tigers' third team foul.
7th season for Brad Brownell. 121 wins as the head coach of the Tigers. They've been to the NCAA tournament since 2011. Florida State played in the NIT last year. Right to Blossom game. Tigers lost in the second round of the ACC tournament a season ago in Washington in overtime against Georgia Tech. Difficult drive, and using the glass effectively, Elijah Thomas calculates the physics for 2.
What Sidi Jite brings to this team defensively and rebounding, you flip the lid when Elijah Thomas checks in. Such a skilled offensive player. They're able to go off the bounce, and big man has touch with the kiss off the glass.
At 12 points in the loss at Virginia Tech earlier this week. Blossom game, another rebound.
I don't like how Florida State continues to settle for outside shots. Must work that ball inside to create high percentage opportunities.
It will just spin off as Shelton Mitchell attacked the rim and earns a couple of free throws.
Shelton Mitchell sees he has a mismatch. Phil Kofer, a bad closeout. Open the gate, you allow Mitchell. He's a lefty, but he's capable of driving to his right side as well. Gets down the lane, takes the harm. Earns himself a trip to the line for 2.
Sophomore from Waxhaw, North Carolina. 3 new players for the Noles, including Isaac coming in. Grantham comes in for Clemson. Dante Grantham. One more free throw for Mitchell, 81% from the line of the season. That was Walker who caught that pass in the paint and got fouled. Gabe DeVoe, his first personal for the Tigers.
That's his first. Tigers' fourth team foul.
The officials are saying 2 shots. That was a cut. That was a cut to the basket. And on the catch, he got bumped from Gabe DeVoe trying to shoot the gap. I don't agree with that call at all. That's a tough call. A basket cut. You reward Walker with 2 shots. The great Rasheed Wallace says, ball don't lie. He just caught the basketball. He hasn't even gathered himself to find his footing to attempt a shot. The fans are showing their displeasure.
Tim Nestor, Ron Groover, Jerry Heater are officials for this afternoon's game.
And somewhere Rasheed Wallace is smiling. Ball don't lie.
Some poetic justice with Walker at the line, who's a good free throw shooter, 70% for the season. And he's going to stay with the Tigers. So we'll take a break. Florida State's number 19. They're in the house today, and they've got a 2-point lead on the ACC network. Florida State, North Carolina, Duke. Live vote at the ACC.com/live vote. Results will be given at halftime.
Wow.
What do you think, Jason Cable?
Landslide. I have to agree to a certain extent. I think maybe the Cameron Crazies are still in bed, haven't quite woken up yet, because that's an avid fan base as well. Little John Coliseum, always a tough place to play. And with the renovations here, this place is phenomenal. Everywhere you go in the ACC, there are no easy nights. Basketball country, the best basketball conference in the country. And we're seeing it this year with so many competitive teams.
How about a renovation of $63.5 million to this facility? After playing last year at Bon Secours Wellness Arena. Deflection and back to the Tigers. Grantham steps up with a 3. Taken back by Walker.
Grantham has struggled mightily, only 3 points his last time out. A guy they really counted on this season to take that next step in his development. Got a good look, but you can't lose confidence. Continue to do other things even when your shot isn't falling. Be active defensively, get on the boards. Make yourself a complete player when your offense isn't going in your favor.
They gave that foul to Elijah Thomas. Brad Brownell is in his 7th year. Last season they made it to the 2nd round of the ACC tournament. Also met Florida State in the 2015 ACC tournament and lost to the Noles in the 2nd round, 76-73. Ten Mays came up short, back to the Tigers, and now Shelton Mitchell.
Brad Brownell impeding for his team to go. You want to try to get down the floor as quickly as possible. Don't allow this defense to get set. Avery Holmes got a good look at it, unable to put it in.
Great box out from Smith to get the rebound. They turn it right back as Isaac lost the handle. It was 3-on-2 in the pass by Blossomgame behind his teammate.
Blossomgame wanted to give it up so he could get it back. He was setting it up for the lob. And again, what I love about this guy, he's a two-way player. Excellent offensive threat, but also able to sit down and defend. He gave that up early so he could possibly get that lob back for a big-time finish. An errant pass and the 6th turnover for the Clemson Tigers.
Florida State has not scored in almost 4 minutes. Whistle underneath after the miss from straight away from Bacon.
Foul is called on Ty Hudson. That's his first 16th foul on the Tigers.
Hudson picks up the foul for Clemson. Rutan Mays triggers the inbounds. This is Isaac swooping in. Spins off for Isaac. Rutan Mays ran into a big screen, and then the jumper is good. Hits a 3 from Shelton Mitchell.
And Rutan Mays needs to turn around and let his front line know about that. You have to call that screen, be up on it. You can't leave your point guard out to dry. Great screen from Sidi Jite, and Shelton Mitchell finishes off with the three.
That is Bacon with the drive, and he takes the lead right back for Florida State after Clemson had taken the lead on the previous three-point basket.
If your team is laboring to score, put the ball in the hands of your best player and let him go to work.
First field goal in 4 minutes and 20 seconds for the Noles, and they're getting it back on the turnover. Seventh turnover of the half.
Just not anywhere for Shelton Mitchell to go. Yeah, you beat your on-ball defender, but it's 7-4. Chris Kamaji inside waiting for you, and a host of other burgundy jerseys. You have to be smart. When you get to the paint, keep your eyes on a swivel, find an open teammate, you can get good looks.
Florida State has 11 points off of the Clemson turnovers in this first half. For 10 Mays, the kick out to Bacon, and he held that finish for an extra beat.
Bacon is a perfect example of why you come back to school. Initially, he thought about going to the NBA draft, came back, he's improved his three-point percentage. A sharpshooter now to go along with everything else he can do offensively.
Blossom game trying to run it down to the baseline, out of bounds. It stays with the Tigers. 9 minutes even to go and 13 on the shot clock. Talked about Bacon. 53 made threes now for Bacon, and that leads this Noles roster. Deflected by Isaac. Keep an eye on that shot clock. Jite driving and scoring. Sidi Jite.
We've seen him go off the bounce and facilitate there. Takes it upon himself going left for a kiss off the glass.
Ten Mays was driving, and Hudson just a little bit too anxious and aggressive in his second personal foul for Hudson.
The big fella getting the job done against a short shot clock, catches it, has an ISO. Goes left, gets the 7-4 center on his hip. Able to finish with a kiss. Sidi Jite, an excellent shot blocker, rebounder, defender inside. There he's showing his offensive prowess as well.
Time to take a look at the nation's top 25, brought to you by the Honda dealers of the Carolinas. 6 teams from the ACC.
ACC so strong this season. You have Louisville and Duke both coming off losses, but so much basketball still to be played. And how much fun is it going to be in Brooklyn? You talk about the double bye for some of these teams, but in my opinion, this tournament is as wide open as it can possibly be. It's been competitive all season. I expect the very same thing in Brooklyn.
Jason, think about this. In the last 6 years of the ACC tournament, we've had a different champion every year. And it includes this Florida State program back in 2012 when they beat North Carolina at Phillips Arena. And that was a close one, 85-82. We're going to the Barclays Center in just a couple of weeks. First of a 2-year stint in Brooklyn, New York for the ACC tournament. The New York Life ACC tournament. Tigers tried to put it up on the cylinder. Jite hit the deck and a foul. Goes against Florida State. Looks like it's going to be number 2 on Phil Kofer. Just the 6th on the team, so no bonus quite yet for Clemson. That move we saw by Jite last time down the court just shows you how well he has worked on his skills and improved over the years. And he tried to lay that one in, but because of the contact, he travels and turns it over for the 8th time in the first half for the Tigers.
Well, Sidi Jite has improved each season. You talk about his prowess defensively, 5 double-figure games on the year, but an excellent offensive rebounder. He blocks shots. He plays his role to a team, and what he gives you offensively is a bonus. We've seen him facilitate. We've seen him finish. A nice grab there, unable to get his feet down and power it up before traveling.
He is the leading rebounder for the Tigers this season, just over 7 per game, and that ranks 11th in the Atlantic Coast Conference. 7:50 to go in our first half. Tom Wormy, Jason Capel, and our outstanding ACC Network production crew here with you in Clemson, South Carolina. Did you see the body angle there from Bacon as he backed off just a little bit and then kissed it in?
Partner, that's a pro move. That's isolation. I'm going to attack you. I know exactly what I want to do with the basketball and able to finish. And on the other end, Shelton Mitchell is getting comfortable, attacking that pressure, dropping that inside shoulder, getting downhill. His footprints in the paint and a crafty finish.
Back-to-back pro moves right there, Jason.
One's a little bit more of a pro move than the other,
right.
But a big-time finish from Shelton Mitchell. But Dwayne shaking Bacon. The attack, the jump stop, and the easy fadeaway for the kiss.
And 16 points off of those turnovers for the Noles.
Well, great ball pressure from Florida State. 94 feet all over the floor, but they help one another. So active hands. Terrence Mann knocks it away. Ojo first to the floor. You think you have these guys beat, but look at their feet. They're chopping their feet, active hands, getting deflections. And it's not just turnovers, partner. They're live ball turnovers. And when you allow Florida State to get in transition and you take the leash off these athletes, you let them get out and run and be the thoroughbreds they are, they're going to make you pay. 7 minutes to go, holding on to a 4-point lead.
Jarquez Smith is at the free throw line for Florida State, trying to build on that 4-point lead. Today's coverage of ACC basketball being broadcast on AFN, the American Forces Network. We welcome the nearly 1 million men and women of the U.S. Army, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard, and Marines stationed around the globe in 175 countries and on the high seas. So proud to have you with us, and we hope you're enjoying the broadcast. A couple of free throws from Jarquez Smith, the senior from Haddock, Georgia. Timeout is called by Clemson. Trailing by 6. 7:17 to go. They are shooting the ball quite well, Jason. 57% from the floor.
But Brad Barnell is upset with his team. If you're a point guard, you must get open. You can't leave it to a teammate. You have to sprint, get your body into the defender, and create an avenue to receive that basketball. You understand Florida State's going to pressure 94 feet. Must do a better job.
The Ram Power Play is brought to you by Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram. How about this past Wednesday at the Carrier Dome? Syracuse's John Gillen, the game-winning three-pointer at the buzzer to defeat number 10, Duke. Gillen finished with 26. Helped to improve that resume for an NCAA tournament bid for Syracuse. 78-75, that's our Ram Power Play. Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram, as we take a peek at the RPI for the ACC. Syracuse not on that list, but that victory may propel them to the postseason. North Carolina and Louisville in the top 10 in RPI. And they met earlier this week, and that was a win for North Carolina, going away against the Cardinals at the Smith Center.
Well, for these teams, you look at Clemson, every game from here on out so important for the Tigers. You must continue to win, build your resume. Don't worry about the past. Focus on the present, one game at a time, possibly putting yourself in position to get a bid. And for Florida State right now, it's all about seeding. This team is competing for a top 4 seed in the ACC tournament, but bigger picture, they're competing to get a great seed in the NCAA tournament. And with the size, the skill, the depth they have, they could be a nightmare for teams on a back-to-back.
That is now 9 points for Blossom Game, and he has not missed from the floor. 3 for 3 for Blossom Game, and he cuts the lead to 4 as we dip inside of 7 minutes to go in the first half. Savoy in there for Florida State. He wears number 5. This is Bacon. Was challenged on the three-point shot. Got clipped, and he's got 3 free throws coming, and the foul's on Shelton Mitchell.
When a guy makes 6 threes on you the first time you meet, the scouting report is take away his airspace, contest high, run him off the line. But you must defend without fouling. A slight touch on that elbow throws a shooter off. Bacon steps to the line and knocks down the first of 3.
Bacon had 29 points the first time the teams met in early February. Florida State shot 66% of that win at the Tucker Center. Bacon now into double figures with 10, and he's 3 of 5 from the floor.
Talk about this team in the NCAA tournament, Florida State. If you play them with only 1 day to prep, you haven't seen this kind of depth, this kind of size, most ball clubs, and this kind of ball pressure coming at you for 40 minutes. A dangerous ball club moving forward.
Florida State last playing in the NCAA tournament in 2012. And they made it to the 3rd round of the tournament before losing to Cincinnati. That was a chance to get to the Sweet 16, if you recall, a few years ago. The first 2 rounds were labeled differently based on the first 4. Great drive and score, Shelton Mitchell. And now he's got 8 points.
When Rattan Mays goes to the bench, the guards of Clemson continue to attack the young backcourt of Florida State. Mitchell, the recipient of a nice drive and strong finish.
Underneath, and the layup is good as Smith allowed the defender to go on by.
Unselfish play. Forrest from the corner. He could have shot that, but he passed up a shot for a great opportunity. Jarquez Smith, an easy catch and finish in the paint.
The lead now is 7 for Florida State, and it is their largest of the ball game. Holmes. Man has the rebound. And now Bacon into space. Man took it away and then traveled. Holmes and Jite, a side of Man, and a turnover for Florida State, their 5th of the half. A very interested onlooker. You saw Dabo Swinney.
I call him champ now.
He is.
He's a national champion. Brought it back here to Clemson, South Carolina. And what an excellent game. Deshaun Watson. I don't know why the NFL may still be questioning how good he is. He's put on a show throughout his college career, and you bet it's going to continue on Sundays.
Avery Holmes got fouled on the play. Coach Swinney back to the national championship game, and this time they took out the Crimson Tide and brought that title back to Clemson, South Carolina. Incredible game, scoring on the final play of the game to win the national championship. It was an exciting season all around in the ACC. In fact, the Tigers beat Virginia Tech in the ACC championship game played in Orlando.
Oh, a nice shot fake from Avery Holmes. On the scouting report, there are 2 stars beside his name indicating he is a lethal shooter. But as a young player, you must stay down, contest with the high hand. You can't leave your feet. A savvy play from the veteran. Earns himself a trip to the line for 3.
82% free throw shooter is Avery Holmes. 2nd year with the Clemson program after transferring from the University of San Francisco. Rattan Mays and Golarotis come back in. And now 5 points in total for Holmes. He was also 1 of 4 from the floor.
You may ask, why do you close out to him in such a manner? Well, the guy comes into the game making 17 of his last 24 3-point shots over the last 7 games. He's a shooter supreme, but you must stay down and discipline. You can't foul a 3-point shooter.
Smith against Jite. Spins around. Comes off, and the rebound to DeVoe. Trying to work on that Jite screen. 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. The lead is 4 for Florida State, and a foul. That is Man. And that's his 2nd for the Noles.
If the bigs of Florida State don't communicate better, Sidi Jite is going to decapitate one of the guards. He is setting blind screens, legal screens, but the guards are trying to put so much ball pressure on the ball handler. The front line has to communicate. You must protect your guards.
Blossom Game is now 3 for 3 from the free throw line. He's got 10 points. 26th time this season he's gotten into double figures, and you could pretty much bank that every time he puts on a Clemson Tiger uniform. A graduate student from Alpharetta, Georgia, with a couple of free throws, and Grantham will come in for the Tigers. Holmes is going to leave. 5 points for Holmes on a field goal and 3 free throws. Florida State started the game making 4 of their first 5 shots. DeVoe tried to save it along the sideline, could not do so. Noles just 4 of their last 12 against the defense of Brad Brownell. Don't forget that live vote. We're talking about fan bases. We offer Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina, and Duke. You may have your favorite. So many great fans in and around the Atlantic Coast Conference, and we hope to see a lot of them in Brooklyn, New York. And that's a great feed inside and an easy layup.
Well, you're taught not to leave your feet to make a pass, but there, Rattan Mays used his eyes and hang time to allow the cutter an avenue to the hoop. Rattan Mays, an excellent on-ball defender, but he takes care of the rock as well.
Marquise Reed fouled on his drive. He'll have a couple of free throws when we come back to Little John Coliseum, Florida State and Clemson.
Do you suffer
ACC football and basketball. Let's take a look at our principal financial stats. Florida State and Clemson. And you see that shooting percentage for the Noles right around their season average, which, by the way, is the best in the ACC, Jason.
Absolutely, and a big reason, the points off turnovers, easy opportunities in transition. And for the Clemson Tigers, they're shooting 56% from the field, but the 8 turnovers is what's allowed Florida State to build this 4-point lead. With the Tigers beginning to attack, finding the creases to get downhill. Marquise Reed steps to the line, a chance to cut this lead down to 2.
Saw some of the crowd here today at Little John Coliseum. It is Alumni Day here in Clemson, South Carolina. Many athletes returning to campus, over 80 former Clemson Tiger athletes. And also the head coach of the national champs is in the house, as we showed you just a moment ago. Dabo Sweeney watching the Tigers and trailing by just 2. Inside of 4 minutes to go in the half. Florida State is led by as many as 7. This is Bacon. Rattles out. Run down by Angola Rodas to Rattan Mays. Kicks it into the corner. Isaac, oh, he's extending the range out of the corner, and that's for 3.
6'10" freshman, waiting patiently in the corner, shot ready, hands and feet locked and loaded. What a player, what a future number 1 in Burgundy has. Can do a little bit of everything on the court.
Tigers have gone just about 3 minutes without a field goal. Blossom Game trying to make his way through the paint. And Bacon may have gotten a piece of him, and he did. First foul on Bacon.
That's his first.
I don't think Bacon had to help down. Jonathan Isaac moving his feet, staying in front of Blossom Game. So long and so active. Able to do everything on the floor. 3 20-plus point games. Guy that rebounds at a high clip, protects the rim. There's not much partner the freshman from Naples, Florida can't do on the floor. Bright, bright future for that young man.
When you talk about Clemson basketball, the guy at the free throw line has done a lot as well. Hasn't missed a free throw yet, 6 of 6, 13 points. Over 1,600 points in his Clemson career for Jerron Blossom Game, and that's 9th in school history.
And he's gotten better each season. Last year, his first full season of being healthy. Very productive, put his name in the draft, came back to improve. And we've seen his ability to do a little bit of everything on the floor. Maybe the best two-way player in all of the ACC.
Rattan Mays, side of the rim. Shot clock was winding down, and that's off of DeVoe after the scurry for the rebound. 2:36 to go in the first half. It's going to be a held ball situation. The arrow favors the Noles. So the ball will stay with Florida State.
Marquise Reed, active hands. The ball touched a couple people there on the floor. The officials unable to decide. Jump ball goes to Florida State. Another possession with the basketball.
Noles are 4 of 12 from beyond the arc. Both of these teams in the bottom third of three-point shooting in the ACC. It's going to be a foul against Smith, who set the screen, but illegally so, according to Ron Groover.
Well, that's a mishap on two guys. Jarquez Smith has to stand his ground. He can't move, but Xavier Rattan-Mays has to be patient and allow that screen to be set. Jarquez Smith, you're 30 feet from the hoop. You can't move and pick up that foul there. Come to a stop. Allow the guard to drive the defender into you.
So Florida State is taking a timeout. They have possession of the basketball with 2:18 to go in this first half and leading by 3 against the Clemson Tigers. Well, it's the 35th anniversary of Raycom Sports, broadcasting ACC football and basketball games. The 2012 ACC tournament, magical for Florida State. The Noles, led by MVP Michael Snare with his 18 points, taking down #1 seed North Carolina in the title game 85-82. Their first ACC tournament championship. For Leonard Hamilton and the Florida State Seminoles, they won that in Phillips Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. Second time they had gotten to the championship game, and they converted in 2012 against North Carolina.
Well, a veteran team that season. Michael Snare, Carl White. Guys that defended you, made it tough for you to score, and then so versatile, able to put the ball in the basket. And this team's a lot bigger, a lot deeper, but those interchangeable parts is something that Leonard Hamilton loves to have, and it usually equals success for the Seminoles.
Tigers have gone over 4 minutes now without a field goal after that miss. Angola Rodas on the baseline. They'll flip it around to Isaac. He has shown propensity from distance, and he rocks another one. 2 for 2 from three-point distance.
I said Bacon was a pro, right? Well, we're looking at possibly a top 5 pick in the draft. Think of a guy who's 6'10", whenever he decides to take his skills to the next level. First time seeing him in person, he's even more impressive when you see him live than he is on television.
12 points for Isaac as that one goes out of bounds and stays with the Tigers. But now they're 4.5 minutes without a field goal.
Well, Florida State pushes early. Dwayne Bacon pitches that ball ahead. Rattan-Mays had what would have been a good shot, but he passes it up for a great shot.
Mitchell got fouled as Bacon came over defensively. Second on Bacon, Jason.
At the line to shoot 2, Sheldon Mitchell.
So Mitchell at the line. He is 1 of 2 from the stripe in the game. Coming up on the Hardee's halftime report. Fans, it's your time to vote. Which ACC school has the most loyal fan base? Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina, Duke. Don't forget that live vote. ACC.com/live vote. Stay tuned for the Hardee's halftime report for the results. We had a very early favorite as we saw some of the percentages.
It'll even its way out. The Tar Heel faithful, avid fans, but the ACC is all about basketball. ACC country.
North Carolina's at Pittsburgh today. They're playing simultaneously with our game in North Carolina. Top of the standings in the ACC, and they've won 3 in a row.
Well, a strong team, healthy now. Hicks is back, Bradley's back, such a towering front line. An All-American, I'm saying it, All-American Justin Jackson having a breakout season, doing everything for the Tar Heels.
Rattan-Mays sends it into the corner. That is going to be a foul against Florida State. It was Savoy driving.
And that's why you don't leave your feet to make a pass. Brian Barnell prouds himself and his program on being stout defensively. They've struggled at times this year, but in this contest, doing the job, helping one another, giving your body. Sidi Jate, help side, able to get that charge and The ball pressure is starting to work against the Seminoles a bit. Avery Holmes picks up that foul with the clock stopped, trailing by 4. Tigers have a chance to carve into this lead a little more.
Angola Rodas picked up the foul. A couple of shots now for Holmes at the line. First miss from the free throw line for Holmes, who had made his 3 previous attempts. The make gives Holmes 6 points in the game, but again, Clemson is over 5 minutes now without a field goal. As we play the last 55 seconds, Rattan Mays charging to the rim. Just to go back out to Isaac. 1 dribble and a jumper in rhythm, but no good.
And Clemson continues to string together stops. When you struggle to score, you're laboring at the moment. You must get stops and put yourself in position. Sidi Chate can't get the tip in, but Jerron Blossomgame, Johnny on the spot, recovers, able to power it up, and Little John Coliseum stands to their feet. Tigers giving them reason to cheer.
Just about a second difference. Game clock, shot clock, which is now down to 5. Rattan Mays, fall away. Tough shot at the horn. And we've got a 1-point game after 20 minutes. Blossomgame crashing the boards for Brad Brownell and the Tigers.
Well, you want to finish the half the right way, and the Clemson Tigers put together stops, timely makes. Jerron Blossomgame with a nifty rebound, able to power it up. 1-point game going into half, Florida State.
By New York Life. With the right guidance, everyone can be good at life. And by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Back in Clemson, South Carolina, Florida State, the number 19 team of the country. With a 1-point lead, 38-37. They are 18-1 this season when they hold the halftime lead. As we take a look at some of the numbers from the first half, Jason.
Well, the biggest thing is the 16 points off turnovers. 8 turnovers for the Clemson Tigers, but did a better job taking care of the basketball down the stretch. No turnovers in the last 8 minutes of the half, and that's how they were able to climb back in this game. But we've seen some great individual talent on both sides. Jonathan Isaac going off the bounce, a nifty finish. Dwayne Bacon can score every way possible. And for the Clemson Tigers, the answer has been Jerron Blossomgame. Big-time finish, opportunities to put points on the board in transition. A 1-point game in this final 20 minutes. So much at stake, live action. Should be a great second half.
Tigers closed the first half on a 7-3 run. If you go back to early February when the teams met in Tallahassee, Florida State had a 26-point lead at halftime and went on to win it big in that first meeting of the season. Blossomgame spins and scores.
Well, we're sitting right beside the Florida State bench, so we can hear what the coaches are yelling. Assistant coach Charlton Young is saying it's an ISO for Blossomgame, but when you're that talented, there's not much you can do about it. Big-time drive, spin, and finish.
How about Rattan Mays? It answered the other end to reclaim the lead for Florida State. He's got 4 points. Blossomgame has 17 to lead all scorers. Taken back by Bacon.
Poor angle on that pass from Blossomgame. Live ball turnover. You allow Florida State to become the athletes that they are. No one stopped the ball. Dwayne Bacon powering down the lane, uses the traffic. Ojo sets that little drag screen. Bacon draws that foul and steps to the line for 2 shots.
Bacon's already got 10 points in this game. That's now 27 of his last 28 games into double figures. Chate has come back in for Clemson. Elijah Thomas picking up his 3rd personal foul in the early goings of the second half. 12 points for Bacon, the sophomore from Lakeland, Florida, and Oak Hill Academy in Virginia. Double team there on Holmes. Got it to the capable hands of Blossom Game, who was denied access to the rim. Grantham to Jeté, nearly deflected in.
Dante Grantham goes up, looks like he's going to shoot at the last minute, tries to get it inside to Sidi Jeté, and that's just a case of Michael Ojo being bigger than everybody on the floor. If he makes contact with you, even if it's inadvertently, your body is going to move. Tough call for the Seminoles.
Michael Ojo, 7'1", 304 pounds, from Lagos, Nigeria. Jeté driving against him. And another foul. Is it another quick one on Ojo? It is. So that's his 4th. So Ojo may have to lead the contest. As quickly, Jarquez Smith is up and ready to check in for the Seminoles.
Brad Burnell kind of smirks and shakes his head. I don't think he wants to run his offense. 17 feet from the hoop with Sidi Jeté going in his bag off the bounce between the legs trying to attack. He's had some success, draws that foul. Has a chance for 2.
The 2017 New York Life ACC Tournament heading to Brooklyn, New York. First round action starts at noon on Tuesday, March 7th. And the ACC Network will cover all 14 games, including the championship in prime time on Saturday night. The New York Life ACC Tournament. Jeté now with 3 points and 3 rebounds. He's a senior from Senegal. Played prep ball at Northwood Temple Academy in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
A lot of good players coming out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. We have another in the ACC, Dennis Smith Jr., a dynamic guard for NC State. He's put on a show many a nights within the ACC.
And that includes a 32-point performance at Duke and an upset win for NC State, one of the highlights of their season, which has experienced a little bit of turmoil, but we'll see what they can do at the tournament as we roll into Brooklyn.
I was at that game as a brother and a fan, and that game was personal. Dennis Smith Jr. put on an absolute show in that contest, showing why he's one of the best players in all of college basketball.
Now, Bacon missed on the 3, but the foul may go against the Tigers, and it will. It'll be Shelton Mitchell who ended up with the basketball, but he's got 3 personal fouls now.
Foul is called on Shelton Mitchell. That's his 3rd. Tigers' 3rd team foul.
So that's a quick substitution for Brad Brownell, as he's got to bring Marquise Reed in for Mitchell. Mitchell leaving the game. He's got 10 points. He's into double figures. Just he and Blossom Game, the 2 Tigers in double figures. Bacon, the professional move, but it bounces out. Would that qualify as a professional move?
Absolutely.
Okay.
He's an ISO waiting to happen. Does a nice job being able to create his own shot, but must make better decisions. If you're going to make that pass to Jonathan Isaac, it has to be a high pass where only he can get it.
This is Grantham for the lead. The Tigers go in front on the 3 by Grantham out of the corner, and his first basket of the game.
And if you're a Clemson Tiger fan, that brings a smile to your face. Grantham has struggled, a big-time finish there, but the high-low, you have a 6'10" wing making that pass inside to Jarquez Smith, shows goes, uses the rim for the flush on the other side.
6 points for Smith. And he takes that lead right back for Florida State. It seems that every time the Tigers are able to get the lead, Florida State has a response.
Well, Clemson doing the job there defensively, closing that gap, off and running. Marquise Reed, the drive draws the second defender, the kick to the corner, 3-ball corner pocket. Dante Grantham has struggled, but he stayed engaged, doing a nice job defensively. And there he knocks down a 3-pointer.
Smith with a turnaround. Just comes off the rim, but Mann is there for the tip-in.
Terrence Mann is the guy that doesn't get talked about enough for Florida State. You look at Rattan Mays, obviously Bacon and Isaac. Terrence Mann is the guy that gets you to the winner's circle. Marquise Reed, though, goes against that ball pressure, sees over the top, And Dante Gratham sees that three go in, finding some confidence, unaccounted for. The lob and flush for the Tigers.
So Grantham has the last 5 points of the game for the Tigers, and they're getting it back as the foul goes against Florida State and Smith.
Marquise Reed, known as a scorer supreme, but there, great vision, looking up the floor, throws it up high, and Dante Gratham, no one accounted for him. An excellent athlete, goes up and sends it in with authority.
Junior from Martinsburg, West Virginia, who averages just over 8 points per game and just under 5 rebounds per game. Kumaji comes in for Florida State. Smith now has 3 personal fouls, so he finds a seat on the Noles bench. Florida State by 1, 46-45. Opening minutes of the second half from Littlejohn Coliseum. Facility that opened up back in 1968, but refurbished to its sparkling self at the moment. And watching the Tigers trying to come back. Blocked by Kumaji. Rutan Mays and now Isaac.
That's a 6-foot guard trying to go against a 7'4" big man. You're not going to win those battles too often. Nice job protecting the rim from Kumaji.
Rutan Mays with the shot clock at 10. Up and under and off the glass. Xavier Rutan Mays.
So shifty, so explosive. Rocks you to sleep and then explodes down the baseline. A nifty finish using the rim to protect the basketball in case the defender was bearing down on him.
Had 10 assists in the win against Boston College. That was deflected out of bounds and will stay with the Noles.
Florida State getting the job done defensively. Kumaji with the block. Off and running. Rutan Mays rocks you to sleep. The attack, the scoop, the finish.
Games on a Saturday in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Well, Virginia trying to break their skid on the road at NC State, getting the job done. And the Tar Heels having their way so far, visiting Pittsburgh. North Carolina, such a tough basketball team, healthy now. The loss at Duke, they've been on a tear. And you look at what's ahead, Duke with a big game on the road against Miami. And the standings just so competitive. North Carolina with the 2-game advantage. But you look at Duke, Louisville, Florida State, these teams are right there. Notre Dame on their heels. It's been such a fun regular season and so competitive top to bottom.
Florida State, one of those teams 10-5 in conference play. Now Jerry Heater is over at the scorer's table. Just making sure the clock is where they want it to be. He's glancing up at the clock above the backboard to our left.
Well, the ball was kicked. And when the ball is kicked on that inbounds, you're not going to reset it all the way back to 30. You're going to put it at 17, which is where we are right now. The officials can inbound the ball and we can get back to live action.
Tim Nestor, Ron Groover, Jerry Heater officiating our game this afternoon. 71st all-time meeting between these two programs. Florida State holds the advantage, 39 wins to 31 for Clemson. Blossom game hit the deck. Second effort, and it's Chate.
Teron Blossom games draw so much attention when he attacks the hoop. You see on the move, 3 guys contest. What does that do? It allows Sidy Chate an open avenue to chase that rebound. The shot fake gets the big fella off his feet, and 50 in white powers it up. 5 big points, a chance to tie this ball game here in the second half.
1 for 2 from the line of the game for Chate. Chate now with 6 points. We are tied at 48, just over 15 minutes to go in the second half. Noles have led by as many as 7. Great backdoor pass and the finish completed. Trent Forrest got loose on the baseline.
Xavier Rattan-Mays came into college known as primarily as a scorer, has improved a great attitude this season, and he is a guy that takes great care of the basketball. Coming into this contest, 16 assists to only 1 turnover in his last 2 games. A great find there on the back door.
3 straight years for Rattan-Mays with over 100 assists in the Florida State uniform. Jeté, a longer field goal attempt than maybe he's accustomed to. Florida State has to get it over midcourt. Forrest again working that baseline. Man, Kumaji.
The benefit of being 7'4", if you're a guard, you can throw that thing anywhere up and have great confidence. Your big fella's the only one that will be able to corral, catch, and send it home. Once again, Terrence Mann does all the little things that can help you get to the winner circle. The baseline drive, the dish, the attack. Sidi Jeté has to help up. As a big, you never want to leave the rim and help up. A nice find, and Kumaji throws it down.
Kumaji, 7'4" from Chad with the jam. Trying to defend Jeté, and a soft touch from the big man.
It was a great pocket pass from Dante Gratham. Nice job weaving that ball through traffic, and Sidi Jeté having nice offensive production for the Tigers.
8 points from Jeté. 17 field goals for Florida State, 11 of those assisted. Forrest, the runner, deflected by Jeté. Back out to Mann, who finds Rattan-Mays. Tap back to Kumaji and a fresh shot clock.
The rebounding battle had been even, but now Florida State, 10 offensive rebounds, asserting their will as the bigger, taller front court.
Man, doubled. Shot clock at 7. Rattan-Mays, dribble and shot. Xavier Rattan-Mays with a jumper at 8 points.
Rattan-Mays saved me the last dance. Went into a little boogie there, had Gabe DeVoe on skates. Nice pull-up for the finish.
DeVoe to Grantham now, and Grantham will direct some traffic for the Tigers. Trailing by 4. Grantham trying to get by Mann. It's another foul on Terrence Mann. That's his 4th.
Xavier Rattan-Mays going in his bag, the crossover into the jab step back. It's a lot of sauce on that play there. An excellent one-on-one play, creating the space to knock down that shot. We've seen the development of this young man turning himself into a point guard, an excellent defender, also a facilitator.
Florida State now with 6 team fouls. Jeté, not shy. Blossom Game offensive glass. Up against Isaac. Basket and foul for Blossom Game.
Well, it's grown man business inside. And Jerron Blossom Game, the graduate, going up high. You love it when a big gets that inside position and gets the rebound with 2 hands. That dribble allowed him to gain his balance and power to explode through the contact, and big time finish, steps to the line. Chance for a 3-point play. Blossom Game is such a good player. He has gotten better each season. Leading this team last year, 50% from the floor, 45 from 3, 75 from the line. He wanted to get better, and he's leading this team.
That foul will be against the Tigers. Blossom Game, though, now 20 points in the game and a 1-point difference.
Sidi Jeté, he's been a guy that stepped up and put points on the board. He's finding his range there at the foul line. Blossom Game leading the charge, but the others have to step up. And 50 in white is giving his contribution on the offensive end.
66% from the line on the season for Jeté. Makes another one. He's now 4 of 5 from the free throw line for Jeté. And he's into double figures with 10 points the third Tiger to do so this afternoon. Rutan Mays falling away. Foul against Florida State. Both Isaac and Kumaji were near that potential rebound. They're going to charge Kumaji with his first.
The officials stated that there was a push down low in the back. And if you're 6'10", Jonathan Isaac, you jump out of the gym and you're 7'4", Chris Kumaji, there's no reason to push anybody. You jump straight up and down, you go get that basketball. You allow Sidi Jate, who we've talked about his free throw shooting prowess in this contest, to march to the line with a chance to put 2 more on the board.
Despite the miss, he also has 6 rebounds to lead the way for the Tigers. So 10 points and 6 rebounds for Sidi Jate, senior from Senegal. Rutan Mays to Bacon. 3 ball from the corner. Here comes Reed. Hesitation. Trying to go against Kumaji, and a foul. But that size differential. That's Marquise Reed, 6'3", against Kumaji, 7'4".
Well, a nice attack. You get a defensive stop. You have an opportunity to attack in transition. The stop-and-go move from Reed. And if you're Kumaji, you don't have to slap down at the basketball. Build your wall, hands straight up and down. You're 7'4". You're 10 feet tall when you put your hands in the air, young fella. You don't have to foul there. But give the Tigers a lot of credit. They continue to attack, putting so much pressure on the front line of Florida State.
This will be the 25th free throw attempt for Clemson. They've made 20 of them. Let's see what they've done on the season and today. And Reed is responsible for 2 makes from the line in the game. That's 71% on the season, is 8th best in the ACC with Reed at the line. So now Marquise Reed, the sophomore from Landover, Maryland, has a chance to give the Tigers a lead with 10:15 to go in regulation.
Marquise Reed makes both.
10 minutes to go. You think back to the first contest, an absolute blowout. The Clemson Tigers have responded in so many close games this year. Can they finish and get the job done? Jonathan Isaac. Folks, again, that's 6'10", going off the bounce, cut off, drops it behind his back, and has the balance to raise up and knock down a 15-footer. That young man is a big-time basketball player.
The 8th lead change of our game this afternoon on the ACC network. Grantham racing along the baseline. Comes back out to Rutan Mays. This is Bacon. He's slowed up by Reed. Off the fingertips of Forrest and into the Florida State bench and out of bounds.
Back in for the Tigers, number 4, Shelton Mitchell.
Shelton Mitchell has come in. Dante Grantham to that bench for Clemson. 5 points for Grantham. He scored them in a row, made a 3-pointer and then a 2-point basket to help the Tigers keep it close. This is Reed, sidesteps the defender, and Reed lays it in. 6 points now for Marquise Reed.
Marquise Reed, a natural-born scorer. He's in attack mode the moment he steps foot on the court. The officials paused action to check on Jarquez Smith. Came up gimpy, lipped down the floor. He's replaced by a big fella with 4 fouls, Michael Ojo. Marquise Reed, a guy that transferred from Robert Morris. He's come in and continues to score the basketball. Tigers must get a stop this possession.
6 points for Reed. Forrest, short jumper, tipped, pulled down. Avery Holmes Knocked away by Forrest. Holmes regathers. Awesome game.
City Jete heard it from the whole crowd. Do not shoot that outside shot once again.
He got the offensive board though, right?
Keeps it alive. And City Jete doing what he does best, being a bird dog, chasing that rebound, gives the Tigers another possession.
Mitchell was driving, got fouled. Rattan Mays, that's his third.
The Seminoles are sitting on the left hand of Shelton Mitchell, but he's proven time and time again he's very confident driving with that right hand. Gets downhill, putting pressure on the defense, and with him out of the game, they didn't have a guy other than Reed that could break you down off the bounce. He comes right back in, attacks, but you can't leave points on the board. You must step to the line and knock down these free opportunities.
Nice hand for City Jete. He leads the game with 10 points and 7 rebounds, and 4 of 6 from the free throw line. Mitchell makes it a 2-point lead for the Tigers. It's their largest of the game with 8.5 minutes to go in the second half. Shot clock is down to 10. Rattan Mays trying to find Isaac, finds Ojo, and he punishes that rim.
There was never any panic from Xavier Rattan Mays. Had great patience, took an eye at the clock to ensure he knew how much time he had left, and a nice find inside. Ojo with the finish.
First basket for Ojo. The jumper's good from Reed. And 8 points, Marquise Reed. Clemson back on top by 2.
Some people are shooters, some people are rebounders. Marquise Reed is a natural-born scorer. I'm going to label Michael Ojo a natural-born dunker, a guy that struggles to find it on his own. But when you create and you give him that opportunity up high, where all he has to do is catch and finish, the big fella can do that with authority.
Our 5th tie of the ball game. Ojo now with 4 points after those recent dunks. Mitchell's shot rims out. Here's Bacon. Ojo again, missed the jam. Got it right back though. And the stanchion is still rocking.
Well, partner, we may need to call timeout and wheel a new basket in. This guy is the biggest college basketball player in the country, and when he tries to send it in, the back supporter is going to feel the ramifications from that.
Bacon spinning past 3 defenders. Not sure if it was a pass or shot attempt, but Ojo got fouled.
With live action, we have a tie ball game. Teams competing hard. Stay with us. Shot a hot basketball, 6 for 9 from 3. And that one, shooting it from the center circle from the Seminole. And tonight, the scouting report has flipped on its lid. The Tigers active defensively, getting deflections, paying close attention to number 4. Dwayne Bacon, 3 for 11 from the floor, 1 for 6 from three-point range. He does have 12 points, but you can see the emphasis on making his catches and his attempts tough each time down the floor.
That game in early February in Tallahassee, 109-61 was the win for Florida State. By 48 points, it was the most in an ACC game in school history for the Noles, winning by 48. Much tighter this afternoon with Ojo at the free throw line.
Let's look just how small that basketball looks in the hands of one Michael Ojo. This is a massive man. A guy that continues to improve and protects the rim, does the job taking up space. Shown he can finish with authority and steps to the line and gives the Seminoles a 2-point lead with 2 big free throws.
6 points in the game for Ojo, who is a respectable free throw shooter at 78% of the season. He steps aside for Jarquez Smith, Remember, Ojo was playing with 4 personal fouls. Some space for Blossom game, can't convert. Two-point lead for the Noles. 5 ties, 9 lead changes in our game this afternoon. Bacon. Smith tried to save it, but right to Holmes. Jeté. Reed to Jeté. A counterclockwise swirl from the rim to the net. 12 points, City Jeté.
Marquise Reed showing us another facet of his game. An excellent scorer now, a facilitator, and City Jeté giving you double-figure points. A nice pass, find, and finish inside for the Tigers.
We are tied once again. What a game between the Tigers and the Noles, and we'll be back after a word from your local ACC station. Jerron Blossom game leading the way with 20 points, but significant contributions from Mitchell and Jeté to keep the Tigers close.
Well, the motto for Blossom game, I get by with a little help from my friends. And 2 double-figure scores for the Tigers. City Jeté unexpected. And Shelton Mitchell doing the job off the bounce.
Jeté deflected it away. But he picked up the foul. 3rd on Jeté. Grantham comes in for Holmes. Inside of 5.5 minutes to go in regulation. Rattan Mays trying to get around Jeté. And he picks up a couple of quick ones, and that's number 4 on Jeté.
That's his 4th. Tigers 7.
It's so tough for a big guy. He must stay connected in that ball screen, giving Reed an opportunity to get in front. You have a little guy like Rattan Mays who's so explosive. He drops that inside shoulder. City Jeté did his best. The big man simply could not move his feet quickly enough to not pick up that foul.
Well, Jeté did get the foul, but there's been a correction on his total number of fouls. He has 3 personal fouls on Jeté now. So that correction has been made with Xavier Rattan Mays at the free throw line and Florida State leading by 1. First miss from the line in the game for Rattan Mays, who is now 3 of 4. Mitchell brings it up for Clemson. Tigers trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. That was deflected by Forrest, and the shot attempt by Reed. Clemson's also lost 5 of his last 6 games. Last win mid-February against Wake at home, 95-83.
But so many close games. The Tigers have been extremely competitive. Been right there for much of the stretch. And freshman Trent Forrest attacks off the bounce, goes in the air and hangs, takes the harm, and somehow, some way, able to find a crease. You see 3 Tigers in the air. Blossom game gets his hand on it. And the bench loves it. Pumping up their freshman, who now steps to the line with a chance to add more to the score.
Forrest with his first miss from the line in the game. Does have 6 points and 3 rebounds and a couple of assists. The lead now 3 for Florida State. Mitchell's in the corner with the shot clock at 8. Deflected. Forrest cuts past Reed. Looked like Grantham fouled him on the forearm. Well, the drive by Forrest.
Well, this is a scouting report play. The entire bench is standing up, yelling out what's going to happen. And Trent Forrest must have paid attention and walked through. The deflection, able to get it, gather, and attack downhill. Draws the foul and has another opportunity to extend this lead.
66% on the season from the stripe for Forrest. 3 of 4 from the line so far. Forrest now 7 points after the free throws. It's a 9-2 Florida State run.
This is danger time for Clemson. You must execute, ensure you get a good look this possession. The Seminoles getting into a nice flow, using their defense to create offense.
Blossom game against 3 and 4 defenders, and it can't be stopped.
And it can all be so simple if you're the Clemson Tigers. If you're Jerron Blossom game, now's not the time to shoot outside jumpers. You take that ball to the paint, get your footprints inside, use that athleticism to get a tough 2.
Another chance for the Tigers. Blossom game now with 22 points. Reed flips it to Mitchell. That's for 3.
The response to the run. City Tay should get an assist on that play. The blind screen freed Reed to get downhill and make the pass. Dwayne Bacon, you like the attack baseline, but things have not gone his way in this contest. Misses a point-blank layup inside.
Bacon just 3 of 13 from the floor. The floater hits the front rim and drops for Reed. 71-69. Tigers in front at 3 minutes to go.
Timeout, Florida State, the Clemson Tigers. I'll see your run and I'll raise you one. Jerron Blossom game. The power inside and the nifty move inside. Marquise Reed with the floater.
Local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. By Hardee's. By PNC Bank. And by Haviland, official motor oil of the ACC.
The Clemson campus is alive on a Saturday and especially on the road leading to Little John Coliseum. Tigers on a 7-0 run after the last minute and 11 to take the lead 71-69. Bacon ducks under. Foul on the Noles.
Well, isolation play for Dwayne Bacon. And if I know Jerron Blossom game, he's going to take that as a shot of disrespect. You're not going to ISO me thinking you're going to get a bucket. He looks over at the bench and says, not in my house. Sits down, spreads out, moves his feet. Gets a key stop for the Tigers.
Mitchell 4 of 6 from the line. That last foul by Mann was his 5th. So Mann is fouled out with 2:39 to go. 5 points for Mann in our game. One of 2 from Mitchell. Largest lead of the game for the Tigers, it's 3. Rutan Mays, Ojo. Mitchell was also there, and the foul is on Mitchell of Clemson. 4th on Mitchell, Jason.
Well, a costly play, but you love the fact that your point guard is coming downhill, trying to get that rebound. The issue is he's attempting to box out Michael Ojo. No one man can do that on their own, especially if you're a point guard. And you gotta love a big man that can step to the line in crucial situations and continue to convert from the foul line.
Seven points for Ojo. 3 of 3 from the line. Can't make it a 1-point game.
Florida State going a little offense for defense here. Michael Ojo cleaning up the offensive glass on this end of the floor. And Leonard Hamilton believing that Jarquez Smith can move his feet a bit better on the defensive end. Understanding City Tay is setting screens, rolling to the hole, and had success doing just that.
Smith back in. He's got 6 points for Florida State. Bacon is the leading scorer with 12. 22 for Blossom Game to lead the way for the Tigers. Reed keeps his balance. Jete. Blossom Game. Foul on the Knolls as Blossom Game tried to follow its number 2 on Forrest.
Shot goes up, and Jerron Blossom Game, a great rebounder, but what makes him special, he can rebound outside of his area. Doesn't allow himself to be boxed out. Sheds the defender and scoots to the hoop. Unable to finish the tip in, but knocks down the first of 2 there.
Blossom Game is now 8 of 8 from the free throw line as Ojo comes in. Smith replaced in that lineup for Florida State. First meeting of the season was a 48-point win for Florida State at the Tucker Center. 3-point lead, 2 minutes to go. Rutan Mays foul prior to the shot and the completion of the drive.
Foul is called on Marquise Reed. That's his second.
Second on Reed of Clemson.
Rutan Mays so explosive with the basketball. The shifty head and shoulders, and when he decides to attack, he drops that shoulder and explodes by the defender. Not much you can do there, but whether you want to or not, put your hands on him. These are crucial free throws. The junior knocks down a pair and pulls the Seminoles within 1.
13 points for Rutan Mays and 5 of 6 from the line. Isaac leads the way with 14. Blossom Game has 24. Mitchell has 15. And he's got the ball. Crossover. Reed in the corner. Deciding otherwise with 10 on the shot clock. Reed, front rim. Rutan Mays hanging and scoring.
Well, it's not much Shelton Mitchell can do. You need him in this contest, and he has 4 fouls. He did a nice job, a smart play. Simply putting his body in front, building the wall, and not picking up that 5th foul. But Rutan Mays in attack mode downhill, able to finish a tough one inside.
He gives Florida State the 1-point lead with 1:08 to go.
Well, big-time players step up in crucial moments. Rutan Mays has set the table for everyone else. 7 assists, only 1 turnover, but it's go time. He needs to put the ball in the hole, continues to attack. That's a tough finish on the break.
That was their first field goal in the last 3 minutes and 20 seconds from Florida State. For the Tigers, it's been a big game for Jerron Blossom Game. Get in the zone, auto zone, and Blossom Game sure has been in the zone with 24 points this afternoon.
Jerron Blossom Game has been the star of stars for the Clemson Tigers, doing it in a variety of ways, from the perimeter attacking, sprinting in transition, and when you need a bucket, you put 5 in white on that block, give him space, and allow him to go to work. Crucial point in the game, Brad Barnell calls that timeout to diagram a play, and you have to think it has to touch Jerron Blossom Game's hands here on this possession. Talk about a model of efficiency. 24 points, 8 rebounds, 9 for 9 from the foul line. Jerron Blossom Game continues to improve, and you need leadership on this Clemson team. He's provided that throughout this contest.
Grantham on the inbounds finds Blossom Game. One minute to go in regulation. Tigers down by 1. Mitchell, the runner, too strong. Forrest grabs it for Florida State.
That's not the play that you wanted, but Florida State loaded up the side on Jerron Blossom Game, forcing a tough shot. If you're Clemson, you play solid man-to-man defense here. contest every look, and 5 white jerseys must box out when this shot goes up.
Shot clock's at 8. Rattan Mays misses. Jeté has the rebound. 26 seconds to go.
Brad Brownell's not calling timeout. He's letting his guys play. These are the situations you work on every day in practice, but you must execute.
Mitchell driving. Knocked away from Mitchell. There's a whistle after the drive by Mitchell. And the foul is against the Tigers.
Brad Brownell almost came out of his shoes on this possession. Shelton Mitchell driving to the hoop. He initiated the contact. Michael Ojo essentially was trying to get out of the way. His hands are back. Verticality. He allows Jonathan Isaac to come over and use that wingspan to deflect that shot. And Clemson fans don't like it, but that's the right no call. Big time stop for the Seminoles.
Yeah, Jason, and you can see that that's the 5th on Jeté. So he is fouled out of the game with 8.4 seconds to go. 12 points, 9 rebounds. Significant contributions from Sidi Jeté.
Trent Forrest marches to the line. 1-point lead, plenty of time left for the Tigers. 8 seconds is an eternity in basketball, and the freshman under pressure here for 2.
Now the clock is starting to roll. I'm going to have to reset that. 8.4. Forrest is 4 of 5 from the line in the game and 8 points. He will be the free throw shooter for Florida State, trying to win its 5th game in its last 7 outings and get their 23rd win of the season. Freshman at the line for the Noles. One more coming for Forrest. It's like Smith is going to check back in for Florida State, and Ojo will come out.
Dwayne Bacon gives Forrest a big bear hug. He and Rattan Mays saying, don't worry about that one, young fella. We need you to put this one in the hoop. Pressure moments for the freshman.
Gets the second. Florida State will take a timeout. It is their last. Tigers have 2 timeouts, 1:32 and 1 full. With 8.4 to go, Leonard Hamilton and the Noles lead by 2. Our performance of the game is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers. Xavier Rattan Mays, 15 points, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 7 assists for Xavier Rattan Mays.
And more importantly, on the road, when you must take care of the basketball, only 1 turnover. He set the table early, but in the second half, been more aggressive, doing it in a variety of ways. And you couple that with the fact that he pressures 94 feet defensively. You need guys to step up and carry the load when you're trying to get wins away from home in the ACC. But with 8.4 to go, Brad Brownell, that's plenty of time for the Clemson Tigers to go the length of the floor and create a good shot for a chance to send this game in overtime or the walk-off win with a 3-point shot.
Coach Dabo Swinney anxious for the final 8.4 seconds with his school down by 2. And Brad Brownell devising the play in that huddle.
On these situations, Coach Dabo Swinney puts the ball in the hands of Deshaun Watson. Well, that Deshaun Watson for the Clemson Tigers basketball team is Jerron Blossomgame. He has to touch the ball this possession. You want him to be the one that makes the decision whether to take the shot or find an open teammate to knock it down.
Coach Brownell has elected to take one of his 2 remaining timeouts. It is a full timeout with 8.4 seconds on the game clock and left in regulation. Florida State has the possession arrow. Tigers have 1 more timeout at their disposal. should they so choose to use it. Xavier Rattan-Mays, by the way, 13 points in the second half. Don't forget, coming up Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, it's March basketball in the ACC. Some will see Clemson host Dennis Smith Jr. at NC State. Others of you will head to South Bend as Boston College battles Notre Dame. For the ACC Network TV game schedule, visit theacc.com/ACC Network. Remember that select ACC Network games are streamed live for free on the official ACC mobile app. Everyone in the building today has gotten their money's worth from the Tigers and the Noles. We're going right down to the final 8.4 seconds. And what a performance in the second half, Xavier Rattan-Mays. Florida State trying to win its third in a row in the series. After beating Clemson at home in early February. Last one here, January of 2015. DeVoe gives it to Reed. 5 seconds. Reed turns, shoots, it comes up short. It's loose in the paint. The clock expires, and Florida State wins it on the road, 76-74.
Well, a pretty good look there from Marquise Reed. Out of his spin move, could not find his feet to gain balance. But with the game on the line, I would love for 5 and White to be the one to make the decision, make or miss, win or lose. A good look, but from the spin move, Reed unable to gather himself on balance to power that ball to the hoop. Left it short. Lost the game, unable to corral the offensive rebound. The Seminoles come away with a big win on the road, boosting their opportunity, continue to climb in ACC standings, and positioning moving forward to postseason play.
So number 19, Florida State, with a 2-point win on the road, where they are now 3-5 in conference play. We'll have more when we come back to Clemson, South Carolina.